Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in what I believe to be still the best all-round heavy in the game, the 60 TP. This is a vehicle that I've talked about a lot on the channel, and I've shared my opinion about why I think it is the best tier 10 for a while now, and I still think that the 60 TP is the ultimate beast of tier 10. Why? Well, let's talk about what it actually has going for it and what changed in the latest update. First of all, it has an absolutely chunking gun. 630 damage per shot is a really nice alpha, and you're not going to struggle to cut through enemy opponents with that alpha and bleed them out. The heat shells got buffed in the latest update, going from 356mm a pen to 362. And while it is only a 6mm difference, it is a big buff. It means now the 60 TP can quite easily cut through armor like a Type 71's upper plate, and D100 turrets, and Jagdpanzer superstructures, where before it was about a 50-50. The DPM on the tank, while not great, is pretty good when you add on the fact that you can run not only tungsten rounds, but also adrenaline, boosting its DPM and damage per shot, which is quite dangerous. The best part about the 60 TP is the mobility. You'd think that this vehicle is slow. It's got a base top speed of 36 or reverse of 14. But this vehicle features gear oil, allowing it to actually go an additional 4 kilometers per hour faster, meaning that you can reverse at 18 and reach a top speed of 40. So the 60 TP is pretty fast. It has 7 degrees of gun depression, fantastic armor, I would say still one of the hardest turrets to pen frontally, and its hull is incredibly troll. Yeah, its track wheels are kind of weak, but the actual hull armor of the 60 TP is incredibly tricky to cut through due to the fact that it's entirely angled, and it means AP and APCR has a very hard time dealing with it. So Kampfpanzer 70 Standard is going to really struggle with this vehicle. And you pair all that with the 7 degrees of gun depression and the alpha damage, it just allows the 60 TP to cook. You're going to see the mobility here. A lot of people think the 60 is a slow tank, but I disagree. I actually think for the amount of armor and the amount of hit points sitting at 2,700, this tank is fast. I mean, we can see here I'm chilling at, 30 kilometers per hour right now. It's not bad for, everything considered. We have the E50M. I'm just going to drive right out into the open, and there you go. 744 off of that E50M. And that's what Tungsten allows you to do. It allows you to take what was a fairly healthy opponent and rip their HP to shreds. Now, the enemy team does have an E4, and they also have a Contra Caro. Now, the Contra Caro is spotted right in front of me, but I don't know where the E4 is, which is something to obviously keep in mind. Well, actually, now I do know where the E4 is, as he's detected. So we're going to aim it on the Contra Caro, and there you go. Nice shot right into his vehicle. I'm not going to use my repair kit, as I don't think I need to. And, yeah, just like that, 2 shots, we've dealt 1,400 damage. Yes, the E6 camping and spawn, what an incredibly skilled and gifted player. Well, let's see if that E6 decides to poke it again. It would not surprise me if he did, but it doesn't look like he's going to. Okay, well, I'm going to ignore the Contra Caro and push right up top. The 752 is obviously going to hold, and I would expect him to try and get some shells out. We are simply going to cross and see if we can get some damage into maybe the K91 or one of these players over here. Let's see. Well, we don't have the gun depression to hit the K91 just yet, but I have a feeling... Oh, we actually get hit by the E6. What a rat. Well, it doesn't matter to me. We're just going to get the bonk out into that K91, and, well, we chill. Let's see. Sheridan is in the back. We've got the Kampfpanzer 70 right in front of me. We are simply going to put on our adrenaline, and we're going to drive right over this Kampfpanzer. We're going to put on our tungsten, and, well, we're not able to pen him with a HE shell, but still, that's a lot of damage. There you go. We get a bounce from the K91, and we have our adrenaline cooking. Now, I obviously don't want to get nuked by both the E4 and the KPZ, but we do. However, we strike back, and we strike back hard, clearing that Kampfpanzer. We are now up to 3,400 damage, which is pretty good, and we're still fine. So, let's reload, and let's see. E4 is obviously going to try and shoot me. I'm just going to poke the E4. Shoots me, but we hit him for 600, and we have our E100 moving up as well. The only thing I am slightly worried about is the E6. I don't know if he's going to try and YOLO up or what he's going to do, so that's something I'm a little bit cautious about. But we're doing fine. The E4 fired, and There you go. He gets shot once by the 7.52, and come on, hit him twice. Thank you. And that means all that's left is the T95E6, who is probably sitting in the exact same spot he has been the entire game. Let's see if we're spotted. No. Oh, we are spotted. No, thank you. I will let the E6 shoot at the 100, and we will chill and wait. Let's see. Let us see. Come on, shoot at the 100, you little goober. He's definitely in that spot right there. Yes, he is. And we aim. We activate our tungsten. Oh, I should have just shot. Sag. All right, let's move up at least. And we can also put on our adrenaline to get our shell out quicker. All right, let's just speed on in. As I said, mobility-wise, this is not actually a slow tank. We're chilling at 40 right now, which is quicker than you would expect. And we're just going to try and get right behind this E6 with the Chieftain. Let us see. Let us see. 100 gets a nice shot out into him. And, oh, he's just going to YOLO out. Well, never mind. I don't think we're going to get any damage into him. No siree. Unless maybe, just maybe. Haha! Whoa! No! That sucks. Oh, well. We did fine this game, though. I mean, really, the 60 TP had no struggles dealing with opponents. That Alpha instantly clapped that E50M, stopping that player from really doing anything aggressive. And then we just flexed to the other side of the map, used our solid damage output, nuked the Kampfpanzer, killed him with the second shot. I mean, the tank just, it's insane. It really is. As we saw in that game, the only real weakness you'll run into with the 60 is the accuracy. But thankfully, with the refined gun buffs, it means you can actually get out decent levels of accuracy with the tank. So here we go. Up against us, we have an AMX M4, E100, and a T30 in Yag Tiger. Oh, and a Minnow. So they have a lot of heavily armored vehicles. But that's fine with me. I actually like fighting heavies. I don't like it when the matchmaker puts me up against a bunch of mediums, but fighting heavies is exactly what the 60 TP is meant to do. It has a lot of hit points, and it has that armor for a reason. Also, I swear if that's the same E6 from the last game, I bet you it is, and that makes me really, really sad. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah, it probably is. So what are we going to do in this game? Well, we can see the STB-1. Oh, and we see the Progetto. What? Oh my god, what a lucky player, bruh. Okay, well, we have the STB, and I'm not really worried about that STB doing anything to me. We are just going to cross this, and I think that's a pretty good play to make here. We're just going to chill right on this position, and not able to hit the STB yet, but if that STB keeps going, I definitely will be able to. Oh, we almost have a shot on that Progetto. Let's see, is this STB going to show us his turret? Well, what? Come on! We hit him in the hatch and did nothing. Oh, man, this is not a good start to this game at all. Alright, well, let's reload and, well, see what we can do. We have the T-30 showing me the roof of his turret, and we're going to load in a heat shell, and there you go. 568 damage clear. That is good, and it's a great showcase of when the gun works, it works pretty well. So we're going to reload again, and I'm going to see what I can do here. We have the STB obviously on the flank, and the STB is a threat, but not one. What? Okay, bruh. Alright, well, our Waffle's dead, which sucks, but we're not out of the game yet. We have the Progetto, who, man, I don't want to be shot by this STB, but he hits me again. That STB's a real cringer. This is not a good team so far. Well, let's see. Oh. Yeah. The one thing you're always going to have to worry about in this tank is the accuracy. That's the one thing. Because right now, I'm very reliant on my team, which is pretty obvious, but being reliant on your team is not something you want when you're also using a tank which has incredibly poor levels of accuracy. But there you go, a nice shot into that Progetto, bringing what was a pretty healthy medium down to a one-shot. Oh, we have the Minnow in front of us, and we are just going to hold off this Minnow if I can. But it looks like this Minnow doesn't really care all too much about me. Well, let's aim it on his lower plate then. Get a 645 snap right into his tank, and then we're just going to back up. This is where that 18 reverse just feels amazing, because I can back out of a situation that I normally would not be able to do well in at all. So let's see if I can get another shell maybe into this Minnow. Aiming, and there you go. 521. Just like that, 2 shots into that Minnow, and I don't think he's enjoying our company. We do have the Progetto and the STB on the flank, though, which is a problem, especially with the VK-72. Okay, then. Well, this is a bit of an issue, and I'm not entirely sure what I can do about it, because the Minnow is going to move up. Yep. Okay, then. Well, our VK is 100% going to die. And the 183 is not doing a great job either at really anything right now. So, let's see, STB. STB is just such a freaking rat tank, bruh. Like, it gets away with kind of whatever it wants, which is what I hate about the STB. It doesn't miss, it has DPM, kind of has everything you'd want, but we're going to back up before that STB has the shell on me, which is obviously precisely what I want here. So, we get a shell into the minnow. Pretty good shot. Again, like, the damage per shot on this tank is great, and it does give you some really, really good situations. What I'm kind of hoping here is that we can just turn our tank ever so slightly and get a big ol' shot into that STB. So, yeah, we do end up dying, but it's not really the 60's fault, is it now? We had a good game where we did 4,300 damage. That STB is so incredibly lucky that we hit him in the hatch, what, 2 times? And both times, it just didn't pen. And that's why, you know, in my video on the STB, I specifically mentioned how, sure, the tank got nerfed on its DPM, but it doesn't matter. When the tank has frickin' 11 degrees of gun depression, and a turret that you cannot pen, and a gun that butters through your armor, it just doesn't make a difference what you do sometimes. Any other tier 10 medium, and I could have easily dealt with that game. But we had some really bad RNG. We bounced the flat side of a Progetto right at the beginning of the game. We missed the STB hatch, even broke his observation device, which is really cringe. So we had a couple shots that really just did not like us in that game, which kind of sucks. But, oh well, you can't do much when you have an STB who does 300 damage right at the beginning of the battle. Your E6 YOLOs out into the open and just dies. Oh well. We had a pretty good game. And the armor really shows you just where the 60 TP works so well. We bought 2,600 damage that game. The gun chunked. And it's just what I love about the 60. Like, the tank feels great when you're able to use those capabilities and just bleed out your opponents with so little effort. So yeah, the gun, it can be a bit sus, but as long as you make an aim and you know what you're doing, you can have some really good results. And it's why I've really been enjoying this tank, especially after the heat pen buffs. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the 60, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!